I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Through the virtues I collect by giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all. Through the virtues I collect by giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all. Through the virtues I collect by giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all. May everyone be happy. May everyone be free from suffering. May no one ever be separated from their happiness. May everyone have equanimity, free from hatred and attachment. The ground sprinkled with perfume and spread with flowers, the great mountain, four lands, sun and moon, seen as a Buddha land and offered thus, may all beings enjoy such pure lands. I offer without any sense of loss the objects that give rise to my attachment, hatred, and confusion, my friends, enemies, strangers, our bodies and enjoyments. Please accept these and bless me to be released directly from the three poisons. Idam Guru Ratnam Mandalikam Niryatyami. From the hearts of all the holy beings, streams of light and nectar flow down, granting blessings and purifying. Tsongkhapa, crown ornament of the scholars of the land of the snows, you are Buddha Shakyamuni and Vajradhara, the source of all attainments. Avalokiteshvara, the treasure of unobservable compassion, Manjushri, the supreme stainless wisdom, and Vajrapani, the destroyer of the host of Maras. O Venerable Guru Buddha, synthesis of all three jewels, with my body, speech, and mind, respectfully I make requests. Please grant your blessings to ripen and liberate myself and others, and bestow the common and supreme attainment. Tsongkhapa, crown ornament of the scholars of the land of the snows, you are Buddha Shakyamuni and Vajradhara, the source of all attainments. Avalokiteshvara, the treasure of unobservable compassion, Manjushri, the supreme stainless wisdom, and Vajrapani, the destroyer of the host of Maras. O Venerable Guru Buddha, synthesis of all three jewels, with my body, speech, and mind, respectfully I make requests. Please grant your blessings to ripen and liberate myself and others, and bestow the common and supreme attainments. Tsongkhapa, crown ornament of the scholars of the land of the snows, you are Buddha Shakyamuni and Vajradhara, the source of all attainments. Avalokiteshvara, the treasure of unobservable compassion, Manjushri, the supreme stainless wisdom, and Vajrapani, the destroyer of the host of Maras. O Venerable Guru Buddha, synthesis of all three jewels, with my body, speech, and mind, respectfully I make requests. Please grant your blessings to ripen and liberate myself and others, and bestow the common and supreme attainments. I am making this podcast with the hopes that I am fulfilling all the requests made to me by Grandmother Earth and the Ancient One of the Inuit to heal all of their people, by the ancestral Australian Aboriginal who has asked me to reawaken his brothers and sisters, and by the female ancestor from South America or Central America who has asked me to help all of the people there as well. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Kathleen. The spirit name I have been given is White Buffalo Calf Woman. Today's episode is called Anger. In the last podcast, we learned that we all suffer from three poisons: attachment, anger, and ignorance. We looked at the topic of attachment in that podcast. Today, we will examine anger and how it poisons our mind and causes us great suffering. We have all experienced anger at different times in our life. Some of us experience this emotion daily. The more familiar we are with feeling this emotion, the easier it is for anger to arise within us. You may know of people that get angry at every little thing, or people that are so stressed out in life that they fly off the handle easily.
Our anger can consume us. I grew up in a dysfunctional family, and I was angry most of my young life at the unfair treatment my brothers and I had to go through. When you grow up in a toxic environment of abuse, it is easy to have a mind familiar with anger. On the other end, I have known people that claim they don't get angry anymore and then watch them get angry at some point later on. Be really careful of making proclamations like that because your ego will almost always betray you. At best, you could claim that you don't usually get angry or that it takes a lot to make you angry, but be careful of saying you don't experience anger anymore because you don't know what karma is waiting to ripen on you that could make you angry. Some people feel anger but don't show it. They let it fester inside of them, growing worse over time. Perhaps they were raised that it was bad to show their anger, or they just want to fool others into thinking they don't get angry. Letting anger fester can be very dangerous, as that is a volatile emotion that wants to be released. If you allow it to build up, you might pop one day and go ballistic. The news is filled with anger. People that protest are angry at how they're being treated. People committing crimes are usually angry people. Some people get angry they don't have something, so they steal it. Computer hackers can be very angry people. Vandalism comes from anger. Violence is caused by anger. If someone is angry enough, they may even kill. Anger causes fights and wars. Just about every news story is anger based. When you watch the news, you may become angry at those stories or at the people you think are responsible for committing these atrocities. Anger pervades our societies. We have terms like going postal, road rage, and microaggression because anger is so prevalent in our lives. I'm sure most of us encounter anger in some shape or form just about every day. We may not be angry, but other people around us might be. Simply walking down the street, we may witness some form of anger being displayed by someone. We may hear an altercation between people, or see someone hitting someone, or watch someone storm off in anger. It is rare to have a day go by that we don't come into contact with some form of anger somewhere. Even in the television shows or movies we watch, the books we read, or the songs we listen to. In fact, the people that produce and publish these entertainments insist there must be some sort of conflict happening in order for it to be a good story. Most of the heroes in movies, television, and books engage in violence to overcome their enemies. They are angry at their enemies and sometimes each other and seek justice through overpowering them or killing them. Almost all of the video games that are available are filled with violence and crime. Multiplayer online games create a lot of anger when a player is killed, robbed, cheated in the game, and they become enraged and seek revenge or rage quit the game. Player versus player games are filled with angry people trying to harm the other players at all times. They skill up or pay to win to become more deadly and get more damaging weapons. Every aspect of our lives is touched by anger in one way or another. We can experience or witness anger in our homes, at work, at play, while we are shopping or running errands. Nowhere is immune to anger. Everyone experiences this feeling at some point in their lives, and usually many times over. It can happen to us at any age. We don't outgrow anger. Even elderly people get angry. You never know when it will happen to you unless you are an angry person and get angry all the time. Then you may expect it to happen all the time. Even animals become angry. They fight over territory or for dominance. They get angry and ward off any other animals trying to get at their food. Insects can even get angry for the same reasons. You may recall my story about the ant battle I witnessed. Even spirits can become angry. Negative spirits feed off of anger and other negative emotions we have. If someone is an angry person, they can attract these negative entities to them. These negative spirits will continually work to keep the humans they victimize in negative states of mind so they can get a good supply of those emotions to feed off of. We often find ourselves being angry when something goes wrong. We get angry at others because we blame them for adverse things happening to us. It is ignorance that makes us think all the bad things that happen to us are caused by other people or other things, because we lack the wisdom to know it is our own karma ripening on us that is the true cause of those bad things happening. If we had not engaged in negative behaviors in the past, then we would not experience negative things in our life now. We also become angry because of our attachment issues. If something is broken or stolen from us, we get angry at losing it. If someone harms us, we become enraged because our self-cherishing attachment. When we act out in anger, we add these actions to our karma storage locker, and we'll have to experience those outbursts happening against us in the future. Not only that, but one moment of anger can erase all the good karma we have stored up so that we will only have negative things left in our storage and will have miserable futures. The more we act out in anger, the worse we make things for ourselves, and the more familiar we become with being angry, so we will experience anger more often. You may know angry people that anger seems to be their nature because they have sadly become so familiar with being angry. When we become angry, we can feel it coursing through our veins. It often permeates our entire body, washing over us so powerfully that we cannot ignore it. Anger is a real volatile poison in us. We need to try to learn to overcome this damaging emotion. You can try to come to terms with the knowledge that whatever is upsetting you is from your own karma, and by accepting that, you can erase that from your karma storage locker. You can use the energy you get from being angry to get things done that you have been procrastinating over, or to do housework, or go for a run, or shoot some basketball hoops. Try to steer that emotion away from any person or target that has upset you, and try to use that energy to benefit yourself instead. It can be very difficult, especially at first, but try to counter your feelings of anger with feelings of patience. Patience is a virtue, and the more we can show others patience, the better it is for everyone involved, especially ourselves. We gain good karma when we are patient with others. I am still working on my issues of anger. I know it will take time to overcome them completely, but I know I have made progress. I often get angry at myself, and this is a pattern I learned from my parents, who were often angry at me, whether I had done something bad or not. It can be difficult to change patterns we have been raised in since childhood. I have high expectations of myself, and I get upset and angry at myself for failing to meet them. I don't recall ever thinking I was good enough no matter what I was doing or trying to accomplish. The more tired I am or the more stressed out, the easier it is for me to get angry. We need to take care of ourselves the best we can so that we can help prevent ourselves from feeling negative emotions like anger. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. May all the Buddhas and holy beings bless you and all your loved ones. Omni Padme Hum, Omni Padme Hum, Omni Padme Hum. I'm sorry to Tari Tiri Soha, I'm sorry to Tari Tiri Soha, I'm sorry to Tari Tiri Soha. Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum. Om Vajra Wiki Vatrana Soha, Om Vajra Wiki Vatrana Soha,
Vajrawiki Vatrana Soha. I wish to dedicate all the virtuous actions I have performed to all sentient beings everywhere, that we may all achieve enlightenment and be free from the suffering of samsara as quickly as possible.